I'm not communicating what I do, but I'm communicating who am I. People don't work or consume products. They actually work or work with the businesses, the founders. Thankful to God that He has given me this wisdom that it actually is He's speaking through me. So I'm really grateful to Him.
Today we are having Rohit Arora on the Speaking to Expand podcast, and as you guys know, if he's here, he is here for a reason. Rohit, I'm not going to steal your thunder. Who the heck are you, and what are you doing here today?
Thank you, Ryan. I'm honored to be here. And thank you for having me here on this podcast. My name is Rohit Arora, as Ryan already told you. And I'm the CEO and the founder of this organization by the name Transganization, which basically works with entrepreneurs and primarily small businesses to help them grow, scale, and go global. The idea behind this organization is that every organization which is founded by a passionate entrepreneur or a founder actually takes the energy of the founder and builds it further from there. So what we do is we help people, we get into their lives, we understand the families, the equation in the family members, the founders, how they're actually working with each other. And organization is a reflection of your own self. So if you have a bigger purpose, organization will automatically have a bigger purpose. And if you are working for your own interest, organization will work on its own interest. If you chase profits, employees will chase paychecks. So that's exactly it is. So you have full control of your life, and therefore you have full control of how big or small you want to keep your business or organization, whether it is for building valuations or you're building value creation. So it's up to you. Everything is up to you. That's exactly what we do, and we help people do that.
And how long have you been running this business?
So this has been almost now 11 years. I've been working.
Wow.
We've worked with all. I've personally engaged with almost 16,000 entrepreneurs in India. I
Wow.
have worked with, as an organization, we have worked with almost 450 businesses, and we are working very strongly with a few businesses right now to take them global. So the idea is business is just one of the works that you do. And if you are very strong, clear why you exist, which in our language we call it as manan. If your manan is clear, if your
Okay.
why is clear, you'll be able to drive the same why inside your organization, and then scale will happen. You'll be able to transcend your consciousness inside it, and the scale will happen with that culture, with that thought, and you will make this world a better place.
So would you argue that business is actually one of the most spiritual vessels and one of the most closely linked um, accountability partners to personal development?
That's true. So there's a beautiful concept of karma in in the Indian ancient. Our sages have promoted that concept very beautifully. So what it says that whatever you do, when you're born. One thing comes to you naturally, which is gifted to you. The only thing that is gifted to you is your
Okay.
karma, is your work. Now, that work is the biggest healing asset that you've got. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, based on our prarabdha karmas, that means the previous lives karmas, we have every person has its own evolution state. So, based on that evolution state, you either tend to work for selfish consumption or you work for selfless contribution, and that is work. Now, any work that you do, any activity that you do, any karma that you do will be manifestation of that why.
Hmm.
Now, one of the karmas is business. So when you work as an individual and you have a you have an aspiration to earn a lot of money and you want to get a lot of wealth, then your business is just a vessel for your own consumption. Your work becomes a vessel for your own consumption, but that doesn't give you happiness at all. After a point, you start questioning every moment of your existence. There are many people who work for their own passion. They say, okay, I love to work, this is what my main objective is, this is what I love to do. When I'm doing this, I'm really enjoying it, but the moment I move out of it, I start not enjoying it again. You're doing it for self consumption. But there are very few people in this world, very few of them, small number, but those that small number is actually making this world what we can comfortably live in. That small number of people have a very different narrative of life. So the people who are in the first two narratives, they feel that this skill, this idea, this intelligence is given to me so that I can enjoy my life, I can make wealth, I can have great great value for my whole existence. But people who in the third narrative, the narrative shifts, they feel that I exist and this gift is given to me, and it is not given to me, it is given through me to make this world a better
Mm,
place. Now, that vessel, that medium, that concept of being a medium is something which makes your life at a first category spiritual. Before this, you're living only for satisfying your senses.
sure.
First time you feel spiritual when you start feeling yourself as medium, as madhyam. Madhyam is a Hindi word which means medium. It's a Sanskrit word. It means
Okay.
medium. Medium actually means that you are now almost in the state of egoless. So
Mm,
you don't keep anything with you. Whatever you get, you just pass it on. You get, you pass it on. And when you pay it forward continuously, your net worth increases. And net worth is a simple equation. It means what you give minus what you take, and is not the
mm,
other way around. So a business is built on this spiritual net worth of giving minus taking, and that is positive. Those businesses actually create a lot of value for the world, and therefore they have a great valuation going forward. It is never
mm,
the other way around. It is always give first, take later, and ensure that this equation is always positive. And these are
mm.
spiritual businesses. These businesses are built on the foundation of love, they are built on the foundation of selfless work, and that is how you create larger value for the world.
Do you notice are majority of businesses and ventures in India built under that understanding versus in the United States? I think there's a lot of businesses that are not built with that understanding of it is karmic and there is that spiritual level to it and there is the value creation. Like, what do you notice when you analyze the different ways of doing business in the US versus India?
All are same, all are humans. In India, again, 99% people are working on the category A, which is working for yourself or your family maximum. And it's never about India, US, or any other country. We all
Okay.
are humans born on this earth, and we have different, we have states of evolution. So you will find a 10-year-old child suddenly working for human rights. Now that child has not been. So if I ask you this question, and I've asked this question to many podcasters earlier as well, how many in your experience, what do you think is the percentage of people who live in the category of selfish consumption, in your experience or your gut feel?
As far as like the total population of the globe or just in the US?
In your experience, what percentage of people of the whole population in the world will be living as the first category people of selfish consumption?
Probably like 96 to 97%.
So imagine now just do a simple mathematics. If 96 to 97% people are living in this equation of take minus give, I take more than I give, then you there is you throw a stone and you will see that person is of that category only. That means teachers in your school are like that. That means parents at home are like that. That means your neighbors are like that. That means your friends are like that. That means your colleagues are like that. That means your boss is like that. Now, if your whole governments are like that, politicians are like that, now if everybody is almost like that, that means the rules and the rules of this world are made for that kind of a scenario. A child born in that scenario or in this kind of an environment will not have a nurture of doing something different. He will feel what this is natural, because for a child, his parents or her parents is the only Bible that he or she is going to read. Children don't listen from ears; they listen from eyes. So, but despite all this, there are some beautiful individuals who just cut the clutter and do something magical for the world against the wishes of his parents or her parents, against the wishes of society or friends,
Yeah.
against what the world around him or her is moving around. Why? Because it's not about what world is giving me is the only input that I have. There is an inner voice. There is your inner voice whom some choose to listen to. And when they listen to that, they find solace there, they find peace there, they find strength there. And when you find strength there, these are the people, whatever they build, whatever they do, because their presence itself creates value. Wherever they are, they will create value. It's not about they're creating business. It's about they're doing profession. They're going sitting with friends, they're sitting with family, they're talking to somebody like me or you. Every moment they almost become like a flower which has to give fragrance wherever it exists. It doesn't have to do to give fragrance. It is its existence is the fragrance. And that's the beauty of any individual in this world. So if you discover that power itself will build something for you which is magical, expanding, larger, and much, much bigger. And as you say, once the moment you start working for the universe starts working for you.
Amen. That's beautiful. You should quote that phrase and like that's a bit. It'd be a good TED talk. Except TED talks don't let spiritual stuff be spoken on, unfortunately. For what do you think is the karmic understanding of money? And I'm very curious to hear what you think about this.
Okay, beautiful. Now, money is the energy carrier, is the carrier of the energy. Now, it's a very important, very good question, Ryan. An amazing question, because this is something that you should understand how beautiful money can be and how ugly money can be. Now, let me give an example to you. So, in an
Please.
organization, founder is the one who creates everything from his mind,
Yeah.
and then people come, and then systems come, then the customers come, then vendors come. All that happens after him only. So that means if a founder is wanting to do this business for selfish consumption, the whole entourage that he has built is going to do work for his selfish consumption. Period. That means the system that he builds or the work that he does, the karma that he does, will ultimately result in cash, in money. Now, whatever karma you have done, whatever work you have done, the intention behind the work goes into that money. If the intention was selfish consumption, money will be selfish consumption, will be egoistic money. Now, imagine this money you pay as salaries to people. Those people carry that energy with them home. These individuals buy food for their children with that money. That food carries the energy of this money. That food is
Ooh.
eaten by the children. The
Yeah.
children carry that energy within them in their genes. Now, if you as a business start making profit and you start doing a CSR, you start donating this money, you are actually expanding selfish consumption to that mega level. It is geometric progression. Now just shift the focus. Suppose you do it with a beautiful spiritual focus of selfless contribution. The same magic can happen with that. Money is a very powerful medium, very powerful medium. When you have money with you, this is something you are actually transferring energy into it and letting it pass it on to others. Because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, it can only be converted from one form to another.
And have you seen the I think there was a maybe it was a TED talk given on or something like that, but it was a guy he would speak like different energies. It'd be like he would talk to a cup of water and he would say really angry things to that water, and then he would to one other cup he would say really nice things, and then he froze them both, and they froze differently because of the different vibrations of energy that was present in it. Do you think the same thing applies to money? If you speak that energy into money and then you buy something from someone with that money, that energy that you gave the money is now in that person's hand. And like, do you think that the water holding energy and money holding energy is similar?
It's not speaking with money, it's about how that money is earned. So
Okay.
when you are creating money by your work, you're actually, what are you doing? You're actually trying to pass all the results of my karma into that money. All the results of my karma into that money. When I convert all the results of my karma into that money carries the energy of my karma.
Do you notice when you let go of the ego and you become service first and really truly serving your ideal client, whoever they may be, the money is exponential? Or what do you notice as a result on the energy as a result of doing that?
Okay, now as founders, now we are very at founders as entrepreneurs, and if you're born with if you start that business with a fundamental of making money, if you start the business with that fundamental thought of making money, then you will have a very short-sighted focus to your business.
There you go. Yeah.
Because if you have a short-sighted focus to your business, every day you will be calculating the profit and loss statement every day. You will not measure the success of your business with the kind of jobs that you're creating, the kind of value that you're creating, the kind of happiness that you're spreading. And when you do not measure your success on those parameters, if that is not your heartbeat, if that is not your the way you breathe, if it is not that is not a part of your life, you will ultimately stop doing business if it is failing in the first few years. And every business you start will fail in first few years. Is the test of the nature, meaning how
Yeah.
persistent and how perseverant you are. Because there's a difference between an investor and a founder. Investor will have a set of allocated funds to say, okay, do something with this. If it happens, good. If it doesn't happen, it's good. Founder is investing the biggest asset given to you as a human being, and that's your time. And when the founder says, all my time is now dedicated to this one single idea, that is when you have actually got into a kriya called as yagya. Yagya is a very beautiful kriya in Hindu culture where you sit together and you start giving to the fire. It's called as fire sacrifice. You're giving food to the fire, you're giving everything to the fire. Now, when you get into the yagya of giving your time to the big yagya that is happening of your business, the karma that is happening of your business, you're giving everything to it. You're giving your time, you're giving your relationships, you're giving your every last bit left with you. And the last bit left with you is your ego. When you give your ego to this business and you just burn it, that's when it becomes infinite. And it just becomes perpetual. It can never ever die. It is about you becoming nothing. And when you become nothing, that's when you become complete. And that completeness goes into the business. And those businesses only become perpetual.
Do you think this applies with any kind of business becoming infinite, or is it only, tech businesses that can be in everyone's pocket on an app on a phone, or like your business? Like, how does the vehicle that different businesses choose to be the vehicle of the business, where like fulfillment costs nothing, the person downloads the app on a phone, it's very easy to impact that person with that app, right? Versus a high level done for you service for a person in a service based business. How does the infinite play when the vehicle for delivery is different?
Okay. Businesses are not infinite by the number of people they touch. What is the number of infinite? Infinity is the amount of impact it can create across the world. Now, there can be some slow businesses which will slowly create impact for the world. There's some fast businesses like Alibaba or Amazon, which Amazon itself took so much time. You look at this journey of Jeff Bezos, for 16 years he was just in losses.
Yeah.
And because he was persistent and perseverant, that time market was not ready for internet. Market was not ready for this thing. But this guy was not working for the market. He created the market because he was working for what he believed in. So belief builds new markets. Belief builds new ideas. But there is no question of what will happen. This has already become infinite within me. Now, when will this translate to infinity outside? Is It depends upon the business model that you're following. Depends upon the product that you are catering to. It is just the time to infinity can be different for different business models, different product segments. But within you, it has become infinity the moment you become zero. The moment you say, this is it, this is all I have to do, you have become infinite at that moment. Now, how will it and when will it translate into market? That will take its time. It may not happen in your lifetime also. It may not. But can you put the foundation? Like, for example, Mr. Procter and Mr. Gamble doesn't know PNG has become such a big company.
Yeah.
Mr. Unilever doesn't know that Unilevers have become such a big company. Thomas Edison doesn't know GE is now right now $140 billion organization. These guys just put their foundation, they just put their life into it, and left it to the world to do whatever it has to happen.
How much conviction does a founder need to have in a belief that the belief creates a new market, like what Bezos did with Amazon?
100%. There is no question about it. And actually, I don't know how many founders you have met. I have met many of them, and all of them live with only one single fuel, and that is hope. They might not have any money in their pocket, but they have loads of hope. They know tomorrow will be a big day. Today I will work for it. That's all they know. And just understand, Ryan, time is an illusion. Where is past? Only in your memory. Where is future? Only in your fantasy. What exists? What is truth? Present. If now, present is God. There is no other God than present. If you can actually give your 100% to present, everything else will be sorted, taken care of. So, belief is also an illusion. If you can only live in awareness, 100% awareness. There was a monk who was living in the Himalayas, and he had a small monastery there. Few people from the village thought that we are living with so many good facilities around. We have a theater to go to, a movie theater to go to. We can go and watch a drama whenever. We have friends to play with. He is alone, but he is more peaceful, more calmer than me. Why? So he said, okay, fine, let me go and stay with him for some time. He went there, he stayed, and he found nothing different. He gets up in the morning, he just has his tea, he does his prayers, then he does work, then he cleans his home and then goes back to sleep. He says he does nothing, he's the same person, but why is he more happy than me? Why is he happier than me? Then finally he asked him one day that why are you, I'm seeing you for past 10 days and I see no difference between the way I live versus you live, but I am sad all the time and you are not. What is the magic? That monk only told him one sentence, and that's the truth of life. That one sentence is, if we can live like this, we can create infinite lives. Forget businesses. He said, when I'm tying my shoes, I'm tying my shoes. Now, what do you know? Do you know what that means?
Living in the now. He's in the now.
That is it for him. That is the only moment that exists. It is the biggest meditation that you can have. It's the biggest yoga that you can do. You don't need to do meditation. Your life becomes a yoga. Your life becomes meditation. But can you
Mm.
stay in now forever? That's the journey. That journey has to be taken. Then everything else is just a matter of time.
And how can one spend more? And this question kind of eats itself. How can one spend more time in the now? You see how it kind of does the reverse of what it is, but you get what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah, how much time you can spend in now.
Yeah.
So you want to ask me how much can you how do I spend in now? What is it's more is how should I spend in now? See, the idea is very simple. It's a 8 step process. It's eight. I will be fooling telling you that just okay start spending in now. It's not possible. We're not used to it. It's so many problems in our head. So spending 100% time in now is equal to enlightenment. Simple. That's what enlightened beings are. That's how they are completely happy all the time. Now, when you say spend time in now, you need to believe in now so much. So let me tell you how much, and every person experiences this enlightenment in his lifetime. So, for example, if you are you love doing podcast or you are a singer, when you are singing on a stage at that time and you love it, that time the world disappears for you. There is no audience. There is nobody. You are incomplete now, right? That is the state of neither happiness nor sadness. That's a state of bliss. That is an enlightened being state. You see a dancer dancing on the stage. Dance is one creation, and this I have told in many, many forms, many, many languages. Dance is the only creation in which the creator and the creation becomes one.
Interesting. What do you mean?
Dance is the only creation in which the creator and the creation becomes one. Because when
Okay.
you're
Meaning the
doing
dancer and the dance is the same.
is one. So
Gotcha.
when you go to see the
Okay.
performance, you don't say I'm going to see a dancer. You say I'm going to see a dance performance. So
Yeah.
where is the dancer when you are seeing the dance? The dance itself is the dancer,
Yeah.
right?
Huh.
Now, when dance becomes the dancer, that's how. Can you become the dancer every moment? When you become dancer every moment, you're becoming one with your creation because at every moment you're creating something. At every second you're creating something. That's what you're born for. You cannot live without creating. Even if it is boring stuff you're creating, you'll create. Even if it's sadness you're creating. When you become one with your creation at a moment and you're living oneness with it, That's how you live in one in now. The problem is when you're sitting, you're living in something that may happen tomorrow or something that has happened in the past. So you're just letting go of what is happening to you now. So the only way in which you can stay in now, only way, is by doing work.
Mm.
And therefore, work, karma, is the only medicine to depression. Karma and work is the only medicine to mental problems. We keep talking about mental health problems today. It's all stupid because we have gone away from now. We are staying in what ifs and we are staying in what will. Now, what ifs and what will are not going to solve anything for you. Just work, work, work is the biggest healing given to you. You don't need to go to a healer to heal yourself. Just work, you will heal yourself.
What do you
You
think is the? Sorry, go for it.
no no go ahead.
What do you think is the spirituality in content creation? Because I know you're saying creation, but what specifically about content creation is the spiritual aspect? I know some top creators say they're downloading everything. They're just the vessel, right?
Okay.
What is your perspective on that?
Content creation is a very big responsibility. You understand that? It's very big responsibility. Okay, if I give you a stale food to eat, or if I give you a packed food to eat, the first thing what you do is what? You check whether it is expired or not, right? You go back and check what is the date of expiry.
Sure.
Will you eat an expired food, or will you eat a rotten food? Answer is no. That means we are careful what we are eating because we are healing. We want to give our bodies healthy food. What is the food of mind? Content.
Mm.
Now give rotten content, and you will make the mind unhealthy. So it is a very wrong sentence to say when somebody says, "I'm creating content, you don't like it, don't listen to it." I don't believe in that sentence. That's the wrong thing. Because when you are creating, you have given the energy. Now, what you do is your karma. What other does is his karma or her karma. That is different. But what you do is your karma. If you have given out a wrong karma to the world, it's over. Done. Ultimately, at last point, you have to only listen to yourself. There's nobody else. Nobody else exists anyway. It is just you. You were born alone, you're going to die alone. In between, you keep searching for relationships. I don't know whom. The biggest relationship that you need to have is with yourself. Now, if you are not honest to yourself, if you are not trusting yourself, if you are not faithful to yourself, if you cannot do that, then what are you doing? So content is a big responsibility. So every word that I speak, every word that you speak, every word that I think is content. And everything that I'm speaking right now is going as energy in the world. Now whether you are hearing it or not, world is hearing it in some form or the other. It is there now. Now if this energy is going to go inside anybody, it should make him feels or her feel nice. So I remember you gave the example of water. You speak the nice things to water and drink it. You say, I'm powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm right, I'm good, and drink it. It will become part of you. It has got a beautiful memory. It's one of the biggest elements of your life. Water comprises of 75% of your body. Now that is what becomes you. That energy goes within you. Similarly, when I speak something, it is going in the element called as air. The only way you're listening to me, you're listening right now, we're using Wi-Fi, but anybody around me is listening to me is because whatever I'm speaking is creating as vibrations and going in somebody's ear. Now, whether he's hearing or not, he's listening or not, it is going inside him. Now I am giving out an energy. Now that needs to be responsible. It has to make this world better. It has to enlighten you from inside. It has to make you feel, make elevate you in your life. So now, for example, comedians, you don't need to be vulgar to be a comedian. Is very clear. You need to be responsible, and still you can make people laugh. You are nurturing a beautiful life around you. When you are present, you are giving life to others through your energy. The content is one of the energies, so you need to be extremely responsible for the content that you're giving or speaking, because that's what will make you and hence the others.
Do you think you mentioned content is food for the brain? What role do you think that understanding had in the reason why when you open Instagram, it's called your feed? Because like,
Interesting.
what do you think? Do
Interesting.
you think that was
It's
intentional, or like how did they come up with that?
I don't know. I just heard it for the first time. I've been hearing feed, but I heard it for the first time. Yes, that's how it is. It's a feed. Correct. It's a feed
Yeah,
because it actually feeds your mind. And brain is different from mind. Brain is very different from mind. Mind is not
ooh,
seen. Brain is a
okay.
biological instrument in your head. Mind comprises of four elements. One is called as manas. Manas is the monitor screen of your computer. Second is chitta. Chitta is the hard disk, memory bank, and it does not have memories of only this year, this birth. It has got the memories of all the previous births that you've taken. Third is buddhi. Buddhi is your intelligence. It is one element which is awakened for humans. It is not awakened for animals. It is awakened for humans. And the last is ahankar. Ahankar is your identity, your ego, which makes you feel you. So when you are speaking something or when you're taking the feed, it goes into chitta, a memory bank. It goes into it. Whether you have heard it or not doesn't matter. It goes into it. Now, buddhi takes decisions based on the data that you have, like a data analytics tool. Ego takes decisions on the immediate something that has happened to you. Buddhi needs data to analyze whether my reaction is right or wrong, and therefore the data points need to be fed well. It can't be fed wrong. So whatever you're speaking, whatever I am speaking, is going into my chitta and in your chitta, and whoever will hear in his or her chitta. So I need to be responsible for what I'm speaking because I'm feeding somebody. That's very interesting. Now I'll use this. Instagram is called a
Hmm.
feed.
Yeah, why do you think it's called a feed? I mean,
Hmm.
everybody knows Instagram. When I hear it, I think of like the only time I hear the word feed used in the other sense is like when you think of pigs and they like have their little box to eat out of. That's called their feed. I was like,
Yes.
that's kind of
Yes.
gross to think like we're all just pigs eating like the feed of Instagram content, right? And it's like it's just a
Uh,
weird kind of metaphor to think, right? Um,
yeah.
for you, what kind of motivated you to like promote your business this way of podcast guesting and professional speaking and kind of taking on this decision because it's a big decision to make as a founder. Why did you make that decision?
Okay. If I have to communicate, if I have to communicate what we do, there are only two ways of communicating. I directly say what we do, which will be for my personal benefit. But when I speak, like I'm speaking to you, I'm not communicating what I do, but I'm communicating who am I. And when you are working with somebody, with a business, you're not working with what they do. Even if you're consuming this coffee, a Starbucks coffee or a mineral water, when you're consuming this water, you apparently are consuming the product, but actually you're consuming who the founder is. So, who am I is more important for the world to know than what I do, because people
Mm,
don't work or consume products, they actually work or work with the businesses, the founders, even if it is a product. So when we are consuming Amazon, whatever, how big, how large it has become, it still lives the spirit of Jeff Bezos at every moment.
mm,
And the day he decides to destroy it, he'll destroy it. It just takes 1 second.
mm,
So it's important to for all the founders to understand that they need to just go out and speak. And don't speak irresponsibly. Don't speak when you're not ready. Remain silent. Keep your mouth shut. And when you think you're ready, you will know it. And when you know it, you speak. Because that's when you're adding value in somebody's life. And that's where, so speaking should not be done to promote, to exhibit. Speaking should be done to add value in somebody's life. And
mm.
that's that's the simple principle that I personally live with. And I'm thankful to God that He has given me this wisdom, that it actually is He's speaking through me. So I'm really grateful to Him. Every time I'm speaking, I always believe that the cameraman standing there should understand what I'm speaking. The lightsman standing there should understand what I'm speaking. And whatever I'm speaking should and must add value in their lives also, because they're the first immediate audience in front of me. And if it can't impact them, if the tears doesn't fall from their eyes, that means it's not going to have an impact on the audience that is. And every time I've done these conversations on any podcast, the first person who comes and talks to me about his life issues or life problems or his opinion are the cameramen and the lightsmen. Every
Mm.
time it has happened, and not the anchor or the podcaster who's sitting with.
It's interesting. What role does spirituality have in being a professional speaker in your experience?
You are not a human being on a spiritual journey. You are spiritual beings on a human journey. So spirituality has impact on everything and anything that you do. Speaking is just one
There
of
you
it. When you're having a sip of coffee, when you're actually being just sitting still, when you're reading a book, when you do spirituality is every moment of you. If you think it is not, if you think spirituality is something different from I am becoming spiritual, that question, that sentence is wrong. I work with spirituality sentence is wrong. These sentences are wrong. Every work that you do has an underlying principle of spirituality. It is not, it is something is spiritual and not spiritual is not what the question is. You have to be responsible for whatever you are doing at every second. Do everything in awareness. Don't do anything in non-awareness. I've seen people sitting with a group of friends. They might be excellent in their conversation when they're sitting alone. The moment they get colored with the company around, they become unaware and they start doing whatever they are doing. And that's what surrender does. That's what non-awareness does. That is a sign of a person who's not living in awareness. And living in awareness is equal to spirituality. Living in non-awareness means you're actually in a state of, in Hindi, the word called as murcha. You are unconscious. So when you're unconscious, you are actually living with your mind, with your current state. And when you're in the state of consciousness, in the awareness, then your mind, body, and spirit is one, and that's being spiritual. So being spiritual is non-negotiable. You're actually at every moment have an opportunity to become spiritual. So it's not about
Where
speaking
can
only.
listeners, I love that. That is so interesting. Where can listeners find you on the internet?
Yeah, so I'm there on LinkedIn. You can post the link on the this thing, and also I have my Instagram, which is called as rohit.spiritual.life, where you can go and check out my shorts and videos. And there is a YouTube link again. Rohit.divine. So you will be able to see me there as well.
And for those that are listening, not watching, can you spell out the name so they can hear it, so they can search it on LinkedIn?
Okay, so it is Rohit, Rohit Arora, Arora, and that's the LinkedIn for me. You can go and
Awesome.
search.
You got it. Okay, last question I have for you here. From all your experience as an entrepreneur who speaks to grow their business for the, you know, decade or more you've been doing it at this point, what would you say is one nugget of knowledge that you would want to share with the aspiring speaker, the professional speaker, or the entrepreneur who speaks to their business that you've learned over these past 10 years of doing this that you think, man, I wish I would have known this. I think it'd be really valuable for me to share this piece of information with them.
Okay. Whenever you're speaking, always speak with only one single intention and never speak with anything apart from this. The intention of speaking should be, whatever am I speaking to exhibit my talent, or am I speaking to add value in the life of the audience? If your intention of speaking is to show off, it is to exhibit your talent and show your energy without any intention for the audience, then that speaking will always fall. All the speaking that you do, all the work that you do, all the conversation that you do when you're on the stage should be only for one purpose: add value in somebody's life. And I've seen, when you go with that intention, you suddenly become one with your conversation. You become one with what you speak, and you will not remember those moments that you spent over there. And automatically, people will connect with your spirit and not with your mind and not with your eyes and not with your body, and you will be a superstar speaker. And then after that, don't take that to your head. That's also important.
There you go. Well, guys, if you're listening here and you found value in what Rohit has shared with us today, share this episode with that one friend that you think needs to hear it, that one aspiring speaker friend, that one professional speaker friend of yours, that one entrepreneur who speaks to other business friend of yours. You never know, it might make that one inch difference today in their life, that 10 years from now, they could be living a totally different life because you did them the favor and you shared this with them. So go ahead and do that for them. Guys, thank you for listening. And Rohit, thank you for taking the time to be here.
Thank you, Ryan. Very nice to be here.